Hello, folks. Welcome to the Friday stream of TON. Today, we're going to talk about a bunch of interesting things. Our guests are going to cover the Mumbai AI Film Festival, which is concluded. And our next guest, Ashish Shah, is the founder of Pepperfry. So we'll dive deep into his business as well. But before that, let's quickly run down what we saw interesting things on our timeline and also the world of IPO, which is ever exciting now. So PhysicsWallah opening on 10th November, and they are raising at a 31,500 crore valuation. The interesting thing about this IPO that stood out to me, the founders still own 80% of the business. It's uncharacteristic to what we've seen typically the other IPOs where founders own much lesser, but and even in the OFS segment, they're only selling approximately 1% of their holding. And Westbridge Capital is the big investor along with Lightspeed India here. And Pine Labs, which is on their day one, is attracting strong interest from all the mutual fund players. So I think that should be a good one. And there's some gray market premium to this IPO as well. Of course, none of this is investment advice, but just exciting things, unlocking value for their investors, stakeholders, and employees. I think it's a big boost for the ecosystem. Dhruv, what's happening in the world of deep tech?
How you doing, Utsav?
I'm well. I'm well. Rested.
Yes. A few episodes ago, we'd shared with our listeners that a new alliance had formed. It was, in fact, a cross-border alliance. Some investors from the US, some investors, a couple of investors even from India, to invest in India's deep tech story. And it looks like, that pool is growing, and it looks like more people are, coming in. And so I'm seeing three names here: Qualcomm, Nvidia, which I think is coming on as a strategic advisor, and also Activate AI. Is this the Activate AI that 𝐓𝐻𝐿 is associated with?
I honestly am not sure, but it could be. Could be. We'll confirm with him.
Yes.
But big money coming in.
Yeah. Into a
Should be
sector of
exciting.
interest. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fun things on the timeline. Are you a gamer?
Hardly. I mean, never been good at them, so stay away.
Age of Empires, which I used to play a lot, Halo, and then Counter Strike were my favorite games. And now, I mean, GTA 6 was one that I'm excited to. Finally get my hands on, but I think it's been a while since this has been in the making. Apparently, there was a game which is, I think, Doom or one of them holds the record for the longest delay from announcement to release. And I think GTA 6 is going to come close to that. They've announced that they're now releasing on 19th November 2026. And funny enough, we'll have the first year anniversary TON special stream of that before GTA 6 comes out.
How
Uh,
much do these also how much do these, since you're a gamer, how much do these games change from GTA 4 to 5 and 5 to 6? How much of a difference does one see in the graphics and the experience?
A lot, a lot. And it's mostly to do with hardware and the capabilities. And I mean, GTA is known to have this whole real world feel to it, where I think the physics and all of these things improve just because of the GPUs and the technology that you bring. So
Yeah.
the realism of these games keep on increasing, and the size of the worlds that you play in also keeps on increasing. And it's fascinating. And even Elon Musk, I think, thinks that AI will be generating all of these worlds on the fly. And I think XAI is going to focus on some of that also. So gaming is definitely one of the gateways into like awesome technology as well.
I
Yeah,
saw a take from someone on Twitter the other day which said, like, it was one of those spicy takes, but gaming is a whole lot better use of your time than doom scrolling.
could be. Like, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, man, I don't know, we should get somebody on board on air to just talk about the in-app purchases like Roblox and all of these stuff. Like kids these days, even in India, are spending so much, not just time, but money buying these small in-game like digital goods that there's a thriving market for trading of all of these as well.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, separate from the NFT mania, but yeah, world like that exists and will be interesting to see where it all goes. DPS Archipuram, my alma mater was in the news, so we're catching up late. Exxon Club there has generated some awesome companies. Snapdeal, Sugar Cosmetics, Boat, Cartesia recently, Whisperflow as well, the tool that you love. So yeah,
Have you guys launched a fund yet?
they should. But the thing is, man, they have 1,000 people in one batch. So the sample size is so huge that if you throw 1,000 darts, of course, you land one or two every batch. Same as YC, I think. Uber free cash flow is increasing, and that chart is looking beautiful. When I think they were in just about to turn positive, the market cap was 45 billion. Now it's a 191 billion. This thing, do you want to talk a little bit about Dara's execution
Is
there?
it one of those hang in the Louvre charts?
Dude, this new company called Quarter has been going viral on X as well. Beautiful posters for earning calls. Like, I mean, the Ferrari one, the McDonald's one, the Airbnb one, they're all looking so good. Even the chart that they've done for this Uber free cash flow thing is solid. I really love the design. I don't know if it's
Dara's clearly done a
mid-journey.
good job, but people are also now talking about maybe Travis making a comeback.
Yeah, there was an article that said that he might be making a Steve Jobs kind move again to come back. Elon Musk, what's happening?
He's apparently the vote has gone through. It was a happy Elon vote day for people who celebrate that, and apparently his compensation package has been approved, and if he delivers according to the promises that are baked in the paper, he gets to be the first person to be worth $1 trillion. But many people say it's less about the money and more about him consolidating control of the company, which is something that he likes to do. Um, uh, did you read the news?
I did. Some of the numbers that stood out is he'll have to take Tesla to 8.5 trillion valuation to
Yeah.
get that 1 trillion package. I mean, huge value creation, right?
Yeah.
And unimaginable numbers. What's the market cap of Tesla right now? 2 trillion?
Should be. I think
2 trillion.
yeah, it's
And it
two.
takes Elon Musk's ownership from 13 to 25% as well. So big bump for him. And
25% of 2
And he
trillion.
always has this thing where he puts these Easter eggs or like these fun jokes. So Tesla Roadster 2, which Sam Altman, of course, famously pointed out that he wants a refund for and was denied one because the email didn't exist.
Yeah.
That reveal is now set for April 1st, fun day. So, of course, chosen for deniability issues also probably. All right. Let's welcome our first guest. We've had fun. Let's learn from these two people who've hosted this amazing film festival. It's called the Mumbai AI Film Festival, and I'd love to learn what went down there. Chandan, welcome to the show.
Hi. What's up? Hi, Dhruv. Hi. Very nice to meet you. And what's up? Nice chatting with you after a month, I guess so.
Yeah, no. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. And Hardeep, welcome to the show as well.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Awesome. So tell us, what is the Mumbai AI Film Festival?
Yeah, so the idea of the Mumbai AI Film Festival was really that like AI filmmaking has gotten very advanced. The video production quality has gotten so much better than it was just like
Will
six.
Smith can finally eat those spaghetti noodles, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's gotten really, really better. And we realized that we think we can actually like host a hackathon of sorts where people actually just show the world, show the audience that just what the possibilities of video generation are. And even when you like try to produce something in a short amount of time, like 3 days. So really the idea of the film festival was before the film festival, like people were given 5 days amount of time to actually work on their films and like from start to finish. And then we had the screening of the films at the film festival, amongst other things, at the Royal Opera House. We try to make it grand. We try to go all out with things. And really, that was the idea overall.
See, to add one thing, the other day while we were discussing on the way how someone can tell a story, the bar for telling a story is so high. Like you will need to know someone to get into the production house, and then the production house, there's a wait period. There is like to get the right resources into this. It's a huge endless cycle. So we had just one goal. That is, can we democratize storytelling? Can someone from tier two or tier three or anyone, doesn't have to be, can they just come? They have an idea, they have a dream. Can they make it possible with AI now? Yes, right. Utsav, as you said, those spaghetti scene which Will Smith video that you're referring to, close to a year and a half ago, it was traumatizingly bad. It was unusable. But now it's very lifelike, right? The pace at which we are developing is so cool that we felt, you know what, now is the best time to do this. And one of the areas or one of the ideas that we had is that, sure, we can do this on a Google Meet screen, we can do this at a small scale, but our goal is to do this at a scale where the country looks up to. We want to bring in the pinnacle of the best property, the 120-year-old Royal Opera House. So we went
Beautiful
all out.
venue.
Yeah. So that's the venue where we organized it.
Where is AI being used in filmmaking right now, guys?
There's a couple of places, like for example, the biggest use case of AI in filmmaking right now is in VFX. Most of the VFX costs are being cut down because people just use AI to now make VFX videos. That's like one of the biggest use cases. To be honest, it's still not being adopted in most of the things that are being produced on mainstream media, like Netflix, or even just like the actual shows that online that exist right now, like they're on live TV and so forth. But
How long do you think it'll be before we can go to a PVR and see a full feature-length film made using AI?
I really don't think it's gonna be that long. Like we were talking to actually Shah about this like 2 weeks ago or so, when we were just onboarding him as a judge for a hackathon and for this festival, and he said that things are changing so fast, it's nearly impossible to know how fast things are changing. Like we could have the first AI film actually on a Netflix and actually like on the cinemas in like anywhere from 6 months to 1 year, and it's just like very hard to tell because these models are changing so fast.
And when you guys talk to the artists, what do the purists have to say about this?
Sorry.
What do the purists have to say? So we did get a lot of backlash on the exact same point. Um, yeah, I mean, it was unfathomable amount of good and also bad that is there. Sure, there is this friction point when the industry is not open for something, right? I mean, the initial hiccups, yeah, that is definitely there. Uh, people are definitely concerned with the thought that their jobs are on the line, but the message that we were trying to propagate is that, you know, uh, this is something that will help you steroid your imagination, get to the MVP stage in the fastest way possible to just visualize and then show in a way. So that is what we were trying to propagate.
And
Well, I'd love to see like Tom Cruise like doing all the stunts and himself and like enjoying the process, and you can see that on screen. But a
Yeah.
movie like say Avatar, or like even Guardians of the Galaxy, where I mean it's more imagination driven, right? I think those will be really, I think, boosted by this technology. What was the outcome that these people were producing at your film festival? Sorry, I stopped you there at the door.
So to add upon your point of imagination, like Guardians of Galaxy or Avatar sort of a movie, the winning team has made a film very similar on the similar lines of what is not so easily possible even by production. What is so wild to think is what they've come up with, and this is beautiful team of three people: Sagar, Prasad,
and Anurag.
Anurag. Yeah, and what you said is exactly what's happening.
And to add on to that, like I think the biggest thing we have learned with AI is that sure that it's democratizing video filmmaking. It's like making it way easier to actually make videos and make films. So that's why like a lot of the industry is getting mad, because now you don't need a lot of those big hefty budgets anymore. And it's saying that like it's just gonna kill the industry. But our opinion is that sure, it's democratizing it at like the very like it's making it easier to make like a high-end movie uh, for a normal person. But at the same time, we're very highly convicted that because of this, the quality of films and videos that are
Tell us a little bit more about the competition, like who won the thing and what was the outcome? Like, did they have to do, like, I think Dhruv was asking before the show, was it, so it's like a hackathon for AI films. Was it like a mini film, like those mini dramas, those are going viral? Was it a 5 minute thing? Was it a 1 minute thing, 1 hour thing? wanted to be the Pixar.
Many people are approaching them for like jobs. For so many people are approaching them to actually recruit them into their production studios. We just hosted an after party yesterday with like some of the participants of the organizers and volunteering team. And we met with the team that won the first place, and they said like they're kind of overwhelmed with the amount of like inbound they're getting from like folks like Netflix, Jio, Hotstar, people from like some of the biggest Bollywood directors.
Dharma, excellent entertainment, and a lot more. And in fact, yesterday in the after party itself, there was someone from SS Rajamouli sir's team, and the director of Bahubali, on discussing on a potential collaboration. And that's it. That's what we were super happy about.
And on it, like one thing to add is something that makes us go really crazy is the fact that even for the people who didn't win and some people who didn't even make it to the actual competition because the competition to actually just application process was so stringent, like 1,265 teams applied and only 15 of them made it. And many of them even actually told us that just because they posted their video online of like their portfolio video that they used to apply to us, they got jobs out of those. Of like one person we met, he got
40
a job,
lakhs.
he got a job 40 lakhs per year just based on that video, which is insane. The person is like 21 years old.
Yeah.
Dhruv, any final closing questions?
No question really, but what was coming to my mind when you were speaking, guys. So I mean, right now filmmakers are using AI to make films. I can't wait for a future where fans can make sequels and end them the way they like. I remember having to wait like 20 years, I think, something like that to I had to wait 20 years for Tom Cruise to come make Top Gun 2, which is a movie I absolutely loved. And had this been possible, I could have made like that. There'll of course be copyright issues and IP issues, but that might be a very cool future. But
on that note, actually, though, good point. If suppose somebody makes this fan-generated stuff, and given that everything that's happening with OpenAI and their licensing stuff,
Correct.
or a 10-minute film with these copyright approvals and all of those things, how much would it cost? Like if it's an AI-generated one,
It's
including token, everything, like whatever you can imagine, like.
yeah.
Let's do it this way, without copyrights and with copyrights, because copyrights is an unraveling battle that we ourselves have been in discussions with multiple boards nationally and internationally in the last 2-3 weeks. So, okay, Hardeep, if someone would like to make like a 10-minute film, let's say VO3 and the top of the line.
And our next guest is here, so we have to wrap this up quickly. I
Yeah.
wish we could go on longer.
Yeah.
That's all good. Honestly, it probably cost like it really depends how much you regenerate the shots, but it would cost like anywhere from $500 to $800 somewhere there. But again, it really depends on just like how much a person keeps going and regenerating, because the cost can always go up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Solid, and all the best. Second edition soon.
Yeah. Let's see. We're getting lots of inbound. Lots of folks are reaching out to us to actually make this happen within their own companies or as like a really big festival globally across even other countries. So we're definitely exploring, and we're excited by just the amount of hype that's created in Mumbai.
And we'd love to have you, Utsav and Dhruv.
Yeah, you guys should definitely pull
pleasure.
up.
Yeah,
Thank you so
we'd
much
love
for
to
coming.
speak with the talent there. Thank you so much, Chandan and Hardeep, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
so much, Utsav.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, listeners, our next guest is somebody who's redefined how India buys their furniture. So let's welcome him and learn about the world of furnitures and our home decor. Ashish, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Utsav, and thanks, Dhruv, for having me on the show.
Yeah, Ashish.
Yeah, really excited.
Amazing.
Great to see you.
Amazing. I mean, the name, is very synonymous with the industry that you operate in, Pepperfry. But why not, for the first time, listeners tuning in, just introduce the business?
Yeah, so we started as way back January of 2012 is when Pepperfry came about. 3rd of January we opened Pepperfry to the customers. We started Pepperfry as a lifestyle horizontal. Prior to this, both Amrish and me were with eBay for around a decade, selling brand new fixed price products. And that was the time we realized that perhaps India is now ready for something which is unorganized and non-standard. And frankly, that is where the monies are made. And we therefore, started as a lifestyle e-commerce, horizontal. In a couple of years, we saw many more, vertical players coming in, and we thought that we need to focus. We were getting great feedback about our products especially in the home and furniture space. And that's when, we thought that we will become a home and furniture player in the country. Since then, which this was around February of 2013. Since then, we have been the largest player in our space. Never look back. So yeah, so that's about Pepperfry. We are a managed marketplace, which means we bring the entire supply of the country. You name the brand, they're on Pepperfry, to customers across the country and the world, right? So we are the only vertical marketplace in our space in India today, and very happy to service customers for 14 years now.
When you just got started, Ashish, did you choose to focus on just one particular customer segment?
No, we like I said, see, frankly, we taught India how to, I'm a Bazi.com, eBay, person, right? So we kind of taught India e-commerce, starting from, getting products from Karol Bagh to putting them on our mannequins ourselves and clicking pictures to making the listings live. I'm from that era, right?
Yeah.
So, Amrish and me, when we were running, Amrish was the country manager of eBay India, Philippines, and Malaysia, and I used to run the eBay Motors business at that time. And frankly, we were the largest players. We also turned eBay operationally profitable, way back in 2010.
Yeah.
And we realized that, selling cameras, laptops, mobile phones, etc., could get you a large business, but would not make money. And we had started seeing that fashion is coming to India, and that's how e-commerce has evolved across the globe. Starts from books, music, media, moves on to brand new fixed price, and then moves to non-standard categories, right? So we thought that we'll make lifestyle horizontal business. So we started doing jewelry to apparels to shoes. We did everything, by the way, Dhruv, right?
Yeah.
So, and furniture and home was just one of the categories.
Yeah.
And globally, how's the penetration for this market? And in India, where are we trending? See, again, very, very unorganized, Utsav and Dhruv. We are now 14 years into the business. We have seen that, the overall industry, only 9% was organized, when we started. Even today, around 14% would be organized, right? So it's not moving as fast, but it's a very large TAM. India buys around $35 billion of furniture and home products every year. So it's very large from that standpoint. In this journey, again, benefit of hindsight, I also realized that, e-commerce penetration is actually taking time. As a marketplace, you can have a distinction of being the entry point of every transaction or the destination of every transaction. Today, very happy to tell you that we are the entry point of every furniture transaction that happens in the country, right? I get around 250,000 people to visit to visit Pepperfry every day. We convert only 3,500, right? So we are the de facto, inspiration place. If you're buying sofa, you would definitely come on Pepperfry. You might not end up buying on Pepperfry, but we are the starting point for every transaction. And the hope is, and the effort is towards getting customers to convert from here, right? Because we get the largest traffic in the country. So we are the entry point. We need to become, more of destination for this category, right? So very little penetration, I would say. I think the overall e-com, furniture and home today would be around, in my view, around 4,500 crores. And you never considered like LiveSpace or other players who were there to basically become an interiors marketplace as well, like where you do these services and sure. See, Utsav, the way we look at our businesses, we are about, the first two words that any marketplace promises to their customers is great variety at great prices, right? And we said that we will be about variety, right? And therefore, when you offer variety, you don't need to customize. So for example, let's say if you are buying a bed, I will have a particular variety of bed in 7 different variants, right? It could be with storage, without storage, front storage, side storage, queen size, king, etc., etc. So the variety actually solves for customization. You do not need to add more inches, right? So therefore, we thought that we will be about loose furniture. We will be about variety, right? And that's why we are, like I said, we are the entry point of every furniture transaction in the country today. I have 18,000 pieces of furniture to show to my customers today. These furniture pieces are coming from around 200, small regional and national brands. Everyone sells on Pepperfry, right? So we beat everything out through the variety that we offer to the customers. We also have our own private labels. So, therefore, great prices happen because we go directly to the source. In my lifetime at Pepperfry, I have directly worked with around 650 factories. And this is very close, deep work, visiting them, prototyping with them,
it starts there to standardization to packaging. So we go take them through the entire journey, right? So direct to source, therefore great prices and great variety because we are a marketplace. We don't play God for the customer. We have everything from 4,000 rupees wardrobe to a 4 lakh rupees wardrobe on Pepperfry.
Ashish, I really want us to pull the thread a little bit on, creating private label goods. How does that work in practice? Do you notice that there's a price quality mismatch, or customers are asking you for something that the marketplace doesn't have? I'd
Absolutely.
love to know, yeah.
Absolutely. See, that's the benefit of, kind of running a marketplace. I know what sells, what price point sell, and what quality sells, right? Inherently, if you look at the, home decor category, and compare it with, let's say, mobile phones, on x-axis, if you have, number of SKUs, on Y, you have the sales area under the curve, 10% of SKUs will get you 90% of the sales, right? In our business, there is no Pareto. Right? Today, there is no piece of furniture that I sell more than 200 quantities at Pepperfry. Right? We are a large business, but absolutely no Pareto. 50% SKUs contribute to 50%. Right? So what happens is we look at the slivers, on the x-axis, we see what SKUs are offered by which kind of brand and where are the gaps. Right? So we look at the price point and the design gap, and then try to plug in our own private labels. Over these years, we have built 6 private labels, mostly in solid wood. We have only one brand that is engineered wood, which we import from Malaysia, China, and also produce in India.
What's the
But
difference,
everything
Ashish?
is made in India.
We're not furniture experts. What's the difference between solid and
solid wood is
just natural wood?
Most of the imports that you see today they're not wood. They are made by recycled pieces of wood or some of the waste.
Yeah.
Right. Solid wood is the wood that kind of lives, which is shisham wood, mango, teak wood, etc. is solid wood. It is durable. It lasts for a decade and more. Right.
Yeah.
Again, from customer standpoint, an engineered wood product, no one will give you more than 2 years of warranty. We give 7 years of warranty for our solid wood furniture, right? So it is hardwood. It is a wood that that can get infested. Let's put it that way, right? But it is very durable, right? It is what India loves to buy.
And Ashish, 2012, 2025, back then there was no Instagram, no Pinterest boards. How's India's buying behavior changed ever since social media's entered the customer's purchase journey?
See, Dhruv, again, very significantly, in fact, even my, previous business, which I built with a lot of effort, the eBay Motors business, what happens, your buying cycle actually, starts reducing, as the country gets more discerning, right? Today, in your living room, perhaps you change your sofa once in 2.5 years. I change it every year. I'm in this business, but, people change in 3 years now, right? People used to buy furniture for 2 decades. Right now, people buy furniture keeping in mind that you need it only for 3, 4, 5 years, right? So just in terms of consumption of furniture, right, it has gone up significantly. People have got much more discerning. They have traveled the world. They have seen new designs. So I would say that there's a lot more appreciation of variety, right? In a building, no one would want to buy a type of furniture, right, in every house, right? So you look for variety. You go to many places. That's why it is a very interesting category, in the sense that it is going through a very I think from here on it will hit a J curve. This is the time that inflection would happen, because people are inviting many more people to their homes. They want to change their living room. They want to invite party, etc. So I think this is the time when India is getting much more discerning. It is also the expression of who you are. Your home is your expression. So people spend a lot of time and energy and resources around it.
Let's also invite your perspective. Sorry, what's up? Go.
No, please, Dhruv.
I was going to say that let's invite your perspective on something that we hear so often, which is just like you said, right? Because people are purchasing so frequently. Some people hold the view that manufacturers now take quality for granted. They don't, that piece doesn't need to be around for 10, 15 years. You're going to replace it in 3 years. Is that, how do you feel about that?
I absolutely agree, Dhruv. People are not looking for a furniture that lasts a decade, right? And therefore design becomes very important. Designs, unfortunately, there's no IP, or copyright in furniture. So, so therefore in India, now you find the furniture from the world in people's houses, right? You find large sofas, bar units, which were never found in India, because they can be copied, they can be made in a very different quality, and it is available at your doorstep, right? So I also, frankly believe that you do not now need furniture for a decade. Right, you should be changing your furniture every 2-3 years, and therefore go for design and slightly durable furniture is what I would say. So people have, it has become an important criteria now.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask.
You've done a large range of products, right? So inventory wastage कितनी होती है इस business में?
See, zero, Utsav, we are a zero inventory business. We work. So first of all, we are a marketplace. So our model is like, look at it like an Amazon fulfilled model.
But the own brands or the private labels that you have?
So private labels also, we have a marketplace. We have a brand licensing arrangement with private labels, which means that, we give them forecasts and then get their inventory into our warehouse. Once the product sells, we pay them money. The beauty about my business, Utsav, is that my MOQs are only 3 quantities, right? Because, these are produced by hand, right? So I don't need to buy in bulk. So we never go wrong. At the end of 90 days, my contract with the manufacturers is that I will pay for the balance inventory. I have never had more than 5% residual inventory at the end of 90 days, right? Because you run heuristics for, let's say 6 months period. Therefore, your forecasting is great. Second, your MOQ is only 3 quantities, right? If 3 quantities happen, 3 quantities can happen from 3 centers, 3 stores, right? So we do not have an inventory problem at all.
So tell us a little bit about the offline business as well. There's a franchisee piece to it as well. And
yes,
what does the payback period look like? How many stores do you have? And do they serve as warehouses or storage for the business also, marketplace?
Sure. See, I'll start with the genesis of it. There was an investor visit that we did to Jodhpur. Visited a few factories, and they told me that, who knows the quality of furniture, because only when you sit on it, you realize that you're sitting on acacia wood, right? And therefore, it's very important that you start showcasing your furniture. So I came back, I opened my first store at Kanjurmarg, just below my office. Got lots of visits, from Mulund to Thane, and we realized that this could be a model. Our worry at that time was that because we are a variety play, we cannot be selling, and because we are, FDI invested, we cannot be selling from stores, right? So therefore, what will we do with the stores? So we started with hiring interior designers and architects in our stores. So we said that we'll consult, we'll make an experience center and not a store. So even today, you cannot buy from Pepperfry store. So you walk in with a problem statement, you go to the store with, let's say, a two-dimensional layout of your house. We help you buy, right? So if you like something, let's say you like a sofa, we'll explain that sofa to you in the store, and then we will show you 25, 30 more sofas online. If you are liking a certain sofa or let's say a fabric, we will show you swatches. So my stores have swatches of all the fabrics. It has swatches of all the finishes that goes on the wood, right? So these are more experience centers. We started expanding. At that time, we used to spend a lot of money on offline hoardings, right? We used to paint the town at that point in time. This is way back in 2015, 16. And we realized that, why have hoardings? Because you can actually open a store at the same price in a city, right? So the first store that, the second store that came about in Indiranagar in Bangalore, we thought that this is my hoarding, right? And a hoarding where people can walk in, interact with my staff, experience my products. And then we started expanding. We launched a franchising model. Today we have around 140 stores in 83 cities. Out of these, 40 are company-owned, company operated, and balance are franchisee stores. Again, a very limited, franchisee churn. We have, great model going. The beauty is that a franchisee sitting in Imphal can buy 200 brands of furniture, right? By click of a mouse, right? So, and that's the network effect that we've created, because let's say hometown would never be at Imphal, right? And similarly, the Imphal customer would not have ever bought hometown, right? But today they can buy these brands sitting at a place. Northeast, we have 17 stores, by the way, right? So we are big in Northeast.
Which is the most recent city you've launched in, Ashish?
See, recent has been Ahmedabad, which is we launched only last month. But we are at places like Raipur. We have, by the way, 3 stores in Bhubaneswar. We are at Indore. We are at Bhopal. Like I said, 83 cities in India. We are at Mohali. We are at Paonta Sahib. We are at Patiala, Jammu. So
Why the
83
decision
cities, a lot of.
I mean, Ahmedabad, if you launched recently, isn't that late? Like, why the
Oh,
decision?
Ahmedabad, this is my third store.
Acha, third store.
Yeah, this is my third store in Ahmedabad. In Bombay, in Mumbai, we have 12 stores. We are 9 stores in Bangalore. We are around 7 stores in Delhi. So metros, we have many more stores. In tier 2 and tier 3 towns, we try to partner because we do not know the local market. So most of the tier 2, tier 3 stores are franchisee stores. And like I said, big presence offline. And all of these are experience centers, like I said.
And let's come into the latest news, Pepperfry acquisition. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Interesting phase, Utsav. We are a 14-year-old business, raised around $300 million till now in our life. We are category builders, therefore ended up spending a lot of money, building this business. When I was building at that time, used to spend, months at Jodhpur. educating. I bought the first computers for my suppliers in Jodhpur. I used to tell them, open the Excel sheet. If the product is ready, put a red mark. If it is not ready, put a green mark. So we started there, right? So category building takes a lot of time, energy, and money, right? So ended up spending a lot of money building the brand. We always believe that an e-commerce business should not need Google, Facebook as the for entry onto your business. Even today, 70% of our traffic is organic, by the way. 65% of my business is repeat, right? So spend a lot of money, had investors on our side for long, very patient investors. MVP, Nirain invested. He wrote the Series A check for Pepperfry on a business plan. The business was also not there. We just left eBay to raise money from him. So great support, but at some point in time, people do need to exit. And we thought that I actually believe that the time of the category has come now, right? So there's at least a decade of work, and this is day one for Pepperfry, right? And therefore, it was important to find a partner and a business that understands where this can go in the future. Like I said, have had great investors even today, lovely relationships, all great friends. But there is life to a fund, right? And therefore, I thought that it's important that for the brand and the business that we have built, it sees the light of the day. It sees the greatness that it has been built for. And like I said, we have just got started. This is at least a decade of work in my mind. This was only, I would say, initiation phase. We told India how to buy furniture online, right? That phase is done, right? From here, we need to build. We need to be the largest.
And you will stay on with the business till.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I have all intentions to stay on and fulfill the ambition that and get Pepperfry to the rightful position.
All the very best and congrats
Thank
on
you.
this news.
Thanks, Sudhir.
Do we have more time with Ashish?
Couple of more questions, maybe.
Yes, I was in fact going to save this question for the end, Ashish, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So Amrish's passing was obviously a huge setback for the entire ecosystem. I'd love for you to share some happy memories of your time working together.
Well, tons. I see. I'll tell you. I worked with Amrish since 2006. Okay, so very long association. 15 plus years of association. Like you rightly mentioned, he was one in a billion. If you spent a few weeks or hours with Amrish, he would leave an impression. For someone who would have spent 15 years with him, not easy, right? He was a great, very different, great personality. So of course he had a big influence on me. I had a big influence on him. We were friends, brothers, everything, right? So we were each other's the best man. So we of course we spent 18 hours building this business, 18 hours every day, right? But we also, on weekends, he would cycle to my house, I would go to his place. We would go on treks together. So we have had a lot of fun memories. Very different personalities, both of us, but very common values. First people to be in office, last people to leave. We will not leave any party. We'll ensure that the venue is open for at least 2 more hours from the scheduled time, right? So built great teams, worked hard. So, and we used to enjoy, what we have built. So of course, really miss him, but amazing times. We have trekked, we have hiked, we have rode all of Leh Ladakh so many times, together. And by the way, last 2 years I haven't been there, so looking to go there very soon.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing, Ashish. I think that is as good a note to end this show on. Thank you so much for coming on air, and all the very best for what lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you for teaching us how to buy furniture online.
Yes, buy furniture online. By the way, we want to really reposition to be the home player of the country and not only furniture. I think the furniture name is very, very closely associated with Pepperfry. I don't know if I want to leave you with this message. I don't know if you know, but I have 2,000 table lamps. I have 400 whiskey glasses. I have 3,000 bed sheets to choose from on Pepperfry. So we are the largest even in the home decor, and the kitchen space. So please look for Pepperfry more often.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me on the show. Thanks. Bye.
All right, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.